Today we'll be taking another look at ASX listed company BrainChip. Their ticker is BRN, and we're going to be performing some technical analysis and making some predictions on where we can expect to see BRN go in the near future. Let's get into it. How's it going, guys? Ryan here and welcome back to another ASX stock analysis video, and we're checking back in with BrainChip, their ticker BRN on the ASX. And since we last took a look at this company about 2 weeks ago, they have had an absolutely insane run. We were predicting a breakout above $1, but it has absolutely flown. And I'll show you the chart in a second, but briefly just on what has occurred. Two key announcements. The first is basically a capital call to raise money for the, commercialization of their products to help speed that process up. And the second, which has only just come out today, is that their patents for their AI products have been approved in the US. And that is a massive roadblock that is now out of the way, and they are one of the first companies to be able to do so. So really exciting stuff happening over there at BRN. But without any further ado, let's jump straight into today's chart and do some price analysis. Welcome into the BrainChip holdings chart, guys, and as you can see, since the last time we took a look at this, where the price was below $1, just sitting over here at roughly 98 cents, it has exploded literally in the space of less than 2 weeks, and the all-time high that is recently just hit was a value of $2.34. Whilst we did predict it was going to break out, I don't think we had any idea of the magnitude of the breakout that was going to occur. If I just slide this sideways, you'll see what we were seeing basically in the past, and we expected to see a bit of a bounce off this point here, which did occur for, the next trading day, and we dropped to a low, of course, of 93 cents. But on that same day, we broke out from where we were currently sitting and hit a high on that day of $1.03. And from there, as you can see, things just got crazy. Very crazy indeed. And this is the beauty of investing, when both the technicals and the fundamentals come together. This is the type of, massive sort of gains you can see. But right now, whilst yes, we are seeing huge gains occur, and we obviously see that the breakaway gap that we expected to occur is actually a breakaway gap, we have now shot up too high, and another gap has made itself very apparent. And this is one where I'm very comfortable it will get filled. The bottom of our gap is at $1.87, and the top of our gap is currently sitting at $1.97. I'm very comfortable this one will fill, just purely due to the fact that the stock has run, and it is run very hard. You can see the volume here down at the bottom. It has been a massive run indeed. I'm just trying to find the appropriate marker wherever that's gone so I can circle it for you guys. There's the brush. Volume right there, huge, absolutely huge. And I expect what we're seeing as a result of obviously the red candle we're seeing today is the start of a bit of a sell-off, and I expect this is going to come down, and it's going to come down pretty hard. This gap is, in my opinion, basically 100% going to be filled. I've got no shadow of a doubt it will be filled, but I don't think that's where the drop will stay. So make sure you are very careful. Of course, I'd suggest this is probably our first key point of, support, but I don't think that is going to hold up very quickly at all. So where could we drop to? Well, quite simply, the next point we could simply drop down to is, I'd suggest, at the bottom over here. And I'd be suggesting possibly about where the close was over here at either $1.48, $1.50. I'd suggest probably $1.50. It's a bit of a psychological number there as well. And you've got to remember, when you're looking at charts and trading, psychology is a big part of the game. There was a gap here that was filled, and also just for, relevance as well, there is also another gap here, and the top of that gap is at $1.20, and the bottom of the gap, the top of the gap is at the low, which is $1.23, and the top of the gap is at $1.20. So I'll just put another ellipse there so we can highlight it and know that it is certainly in place, and that is something that we could potentially see filled at some point in time. But I really think that the first point that we want to see hit is, of course, this key point over here, the massive gap that we've seen, but I think we're going to see about $1.87 before there is the potential of a further move upwards. So let's have a look at a few more indicators. RSI is going to be ridiculous. As you can see, significantly overbought now. The RSI is currently sitting at 92.75. So for us, what does that mean? Well, the price is going to come down. A sell-off is required, and you can see it's still even rising today because the price, well, yes, the candle is red. You can see that the price has spiked since yesterday. So really overbought at this point in time, so it needs to come back and cool off significantly. So plenty of room for it to move downwards, not much room for it to keep moving in an upwards direction. MACD. Now this is incredible. As you can see, the cross occurred over here on the 4th of January, and we mentioned this in our last video, and that cross was quite literally right here where that breakaway gap occurred, and we said this is going to be the start of a run, and what a run it is. And interestingly enough, we can still see that the MACD is rising. The 12-day EMA is sitting at 0.29 with the 26 following at 0.18. So of course that too, I think we're going to start to see shallow out, and it's going to probably shallow out in that sort of a style. Not too quickly, but at the same time, if we do see big dumps as a result of traders taking advantage of this huge run, we could potentially see it drop a bit quicker. Overall, what is my price target for BrainChip? Well, in the short term, quite simply, it's going to be at least $1.87 that we're going to see it drop to, but I would not be surprised if we saw it drop to $1.50, or if it is really a bit of a panic, even further to close this gap with the I suppose the bottom end of this gap being at $1.20. That is absolutely feasible at this point in time. That wraps up our analysis on BrainChip today, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it down in the comments section below. Of course, if you did enjoy today's analysis as well, make sure you do leave a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. I'll leave it there for today, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.